You might remember some time back on the ticket itself when it was being printed, there was a some line there in which we told the passengers that Indian Railways recovers only 46% or 50% of the total amount that we are actually incurring on this service.
Finance अगर sorted है एक तरीके से तो I think the organization does well, right? And so अगर if I have to further probe on this कि क्योंकि Parliament determines the budget for say the railways, right? Then there is certain allocation happening to the railways within the general budget. So उसके दायरे में रह करके are the decisions also taken in terms of कितना क्या revenue sources है, क्या expenditure sources है, and उसकी पूरी financial modeling, is that also part of what IRAS cadre is involved in?
Yeah, broadly we have to see that. Actually, the issue is when you want to do any expenditure, you have to see what is the source of the fund.
Correct.
That you have to see from where the fund is coming, and if that source of fund is through our internal accruals, probably we can spend it on many activities where we don't require returns. And if that source of fund is from any agency where we have taken it on loan, on which we have to pay interest, then we have to see that this money is actually spent only on those activities where we can actually generate returns more than what is actually we are paying as an interest or to any organization. So that is the thing. So the source of fund is very important. That has to be seen where we can spend this money. If, for example, in your house, you take a loan and you don't spend it on expansion and and you spend it on just going to the hotels and restaurants, and that is not a good way of managing your finances. So that has to be seen by the finance and accounts in railways.
तो जैसे जो टिकट के प्राइसेस होते हैं कि यहाँ से यहाँ जाने की ट्रेन की जनरल टिकट ये है, फर्स्ट एसी टिकट के प्राइसेस ये सब चीज़ों में अकाउंट सर्विसेज के जो मेंबर्स हैं वो इन्वॉल्व होते हैं, या इज देयर सम अदर कैडर ऑल टुगेदर हु डिटरमाइंस दीज स्मॉल डिसीजंस? क्योंकि आई थिंक हमारे जो ऑडियंस हैं, जो बहुत लोग रेलवेज में ट्रैवल करते होंगे, एक क्वेश्चन उनको ये है कि अच्छा ये सब जो टिकट प्राइसेस होते हैं ये कौन डिटरमाइन करता है?
I don't think to a large extent, finance and accounts is involved in this decision making. Okay. It is more of I think political decision.
Okay.
Right. But we do have a costing cell where we try to do costing and how much cost we are. You might remember some time back on the ticket itself when it was being printed, there was a some line there in which we told the passengers that Indian Railways recovers only 46% or 50% of the total amount that we are actually incurring on this service. So do you remember that there was a line?
Faintly,
So that was at the time of our Honorable Railway Minister, Mr. Piyush Goyal. You see, he said that how much we are actually spending. That costing cell does that exercise, but actually we can determine. So this is the amount actually we are spending. Probably we can calculate, and we have that costing cell as I told you. But how much has to be the price of that service? That is determined not only by the costing, but other factors also. So that is.
क्योंकि I think जैसे purchasing capability of citizens in general would be accounted for, and therefore it's
exactly. So ultimately, railways has got a twin function.
Correct.
It is not only a commercial organization, but it is, since it is under Ministry of Railways, it is a government organization. It has got a welfare and social role also to play.
Correct.
And that has to be balanced.
And that is मुझे लगता है कि आप लोगों का जो function है becomes even more tougher, because it's for a corporate it is very easy to say कि अच्छा इतना हमारा खर्चा हो रहा है, इतना price आप कर दो. But within that ambit, how do you make it sustainable in the long run?
Exactly. And that is the challenge.
That's the challenge. काफ़ी interesting.